Hi, everybody. Claudia McMullen here from Hugo Coffee Roasters. I'm here today with Missy, the co-founder of Tiny and Tall Animal Rescue. And we are here. Tiny and Tall is our fundraising partner for the week. So we are on day 4 of our week-long fundraiser for Tiny and Tall. And remember, Hugo Coffee donates $2.50 for every single item sold on its website during the course of this week. So we want to sell as much as we can so we can help Tiny and Tall. But first, let's hear what all about Tiny and Tall. Missy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? Thanks for having us or having me on. My partner, my best friend, Nicolina, couldn't be on today, but me and my partner, Nicolina, are the co-founder or the founders of Tiny and Tall Rescue.
Fantastic. So, and tell us about why you when did you found Tiny and Tall, and why did you?
Okay, so we started Tiny and Tall. We opened our doors, our hypothetical doors, November 2017. We both grew up with tiny dogs, and as adults, we both own Great Danes. We met each other at a different rescue, and we became instant friends and decided we wanted to start our own. And so we got the concept Tiny and Tall because since we had the little dogs and now we have the giants. So we rescue dogs that are 25 pounds and under in giant breeds. We do get some in-betweens because we can't say no to all the time, but we try and stick to our intake for, the littles and then the giants. So Great Danes, Mastiffs, Great Pyrenees, Chihuahuas, Shih Tzus, Yorkies, those kind.
So so are you are a foster-based organization?
Yes.
You don't have a brick and mortar presence.
Well, we are in the process of trying to find one. We found one last year, but we lost it, unfortunately. But yes, we're in the process. So we're trying to. We don't want to have a shelter per se, just, maybe a few kennels in case of the emergency or, they need to get out of the kill shelter ASAP. We don't have an open foster home, but more so to have adoption events and training classes, and we sell a lot of merchandise, and so we need an office, we need space.
Sure, of course. So tell us about tell our fans, and I'm sure your fans know, but our fans don't know, and I didn't know this. Tell us about the experience that a tall, large dog would have in a shelter.
So most giant breeds don't do good in shelters at all, especially Great Danes. They're very, very sensitive breed. They're special, they're goofy, they're calm, but they are very sensitive, and they really, really need foster. They need home. They need touch, feel, see people. They don't do good, alone or in, closed spaces, and they start to deteriorate, and they can get separation anxiety, mentally, it just really, it drains them. The giants.
It's so upsetting. I don't know if I told you this when we met on the Zoom call, but when I was a little kid, my second dog was a Great Dane.
Yes.
I was like 7 years old. And my parents took us on a ski trip. And when we came back, our dog was dead. And we had put Paladin in, we put him in a place. I'm sure he was in something like a cave, like a
boarding facility.
But my mother, I'll never forget, my mother told me that he died of a broken heart.
Oh,
I mean, it's so, you'd think I would remember that. I didn't remember that as an adult when I ran a shelter, when I ran a rescue. Like, I do remember telling you about Titus, who was a 180-pound dog, and he was not in any kind of enclosure because he was such a big dog. He was not going to do well. But I didn't realize that we didn't take big dogs for that reason.
They just don't do good, and so we try and get them out as soon as possible. When we get the call that they're in the shelter, they need help, we try and get them out as soon as possible. So
where do you get your dogs from?
So we get them from everywhere. We pull from the whole state of Illinois, all the animal controls or humane societies throughout the state, a lot in Southern Illinois. Southern states, as I'm sure everybody knows, they all need help. We currently work with a transport group in Oklahoma called Three Girls Rescue, and we do a monthly transport with them. So, and they have a lot of Great Pyrenees down there because they're guarding, they guard the livestock. and they end up in the kill shelters, and they go in the kill shelters and, pull out the dogs that we can take, the tinies and the talls. And then every month we drive and we meet them halfway, almost halfway. And we typically get 35 to 60 dogs just from them a month. And then on top of it, throughout the state or any calls we get, or yesterday we just saved 4 Great Dane Pyrenees mixes that were abandoned on a property alone for a long time, starving, flea-ridden. These dogs are so sweet, but they're broken, they're just so sad and scared. But as of this morning, they've all the fosters said they're doing great and all coming out of their shell. And so, yeah, we get dogs from anywhere. Those dogs were from Missouri that were brought up. We met them yesterday, did a long transport. But yeah, we get owner surrenders. We take 2. And there's a lot of owner surrenders lately, unfortunately. But
people who think the dog's not going to get as big as the dog got.
Yeah, or we don't have time, we're working too much, or there's so many different reasons.
And they're really expensive because they eat so much, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, there are some owner surrenders that are very, they're true and they're heartfelt, and we really feel for them. We really want to help those owner surrenders.
Yeah.
But then there's some that,
Yeah. So tell me about the tiny part. So I get the big dog part, and is the tiny piece simply because you grew up with tiny dogs?
Yeah, we wanted to do something different. We knew we wanted to save giants because we both own Danes, but we wanted to do something different. And there are so many tiny dogs that need. There's a lot of Chihuahuas in shelters. I'm sure people know. But we have so many amazing foster homes. We've grown to have from 20 fosters and volunteers to over 400.
Wow.
Yes. So, and we actually have just saved over 1,500 dogs in less than 4 years. So it's crazy. I know we've been very busy. We're nuts. So, the tinies is because, we did grow up with tinies, and we have a special, I grew up with Shih Tzus. She grew up with a Yorkie, and a Chihuahua. So, we have a special place, and we have foster homes that some of them only want to, foster Shih Tzus, female Shih Tzus that are under 6 years old, or whatever they want to foster, we'll have them foster. We never put a dog in their house they're not interested in fostering. So,
what percent of your dogs are tiny, and what percent are giants?
Gosh, honestly, it depends. I mean, it kind of rotates. It's like half and half. Sometimes, sometimes we have 75% tiny and 20, and then we have 75% giants. So honestly, I mean, that's a really good question. I kind of want to do some research now because I'm curious, but I feel like it's almost half and half at most of the time. Maybe more tinies. We did get we had a hoarding situation. We saved 25 tinies about a month ago. So I mean, at that time we had a lot more tinies, but
it fluctuates.
Yeah, it definitely fluctuates. Yeah.
And so I want everyone to know what size of dog you have.
So I have 3 Great Danes. One of them's half Golden Retriever. And so Molly, Rolo are the full Great Danes. And then Rizzo's half Golden, half Great Dane. And then I have a foster right now. She's a little Yorkie. So I have a tiny and 3 talls in my house.
Well, now I want you to tell everybody how big you are.
I'm 5'2" on a good day and about 125 pounds.
And
125 pounds.
And you control probably 400-pound of dogs.
I do. They listen to me. I had to learn though, because at first, my first Great Dane foster, I was nervous. I was scared. But I had a great mentor, and she said, "Missy, you got to pull your big girl pants up deep in your voice because I have a higher pitched voice,
right?
And you have to be the boss." And ever since she told me that, that's what I did. And yes, I can control them.
400 pounds of dog.
Yes.
Little Missy controls 400 pounds of dog.
And Nicolina's tiny too. She's like, she weighs less than me. She's probably 110 pounds, and she's same height. So we're both tiny, and we have these giant dogs. It's kind of comical.
Oh my God, it kills me. All right. So now, Missy, now's the big part of the live stream. We want to talk about 2 things. One, say that in the next 3 days, Tiny and Tall kills it. We write you a check for $300 to $500 on Monday morning. My favorite day of the week, by the way. Yeah, I write the checks. What could you do with $300 to $500?
So right now we have about 6 heartworm positive dogs. So, and we just finished up a surgery, an FHO surgery on one of our dogs. And we have a couple other surgeries coming up. So I think we'd probably take it and put it towards heartworm dogs. Heartworm treatment is typically about 500 each dog. So that could cover one full heartworm treatment, which would be amazing. So.
Oh, excellent. All right. So
Yeah.
now this is the call to action. Now we got to get all of our fans and all of your fans to get online and buy coffee because we want to help.
Actually, I'm drinking it right now because it's so amazing. Because they sent me some and I'm drinking it.
That's awesome. So now we want to make sure people buy over the weekend because we want. I mean, I'd like to deworm 2 dogs.
Heartworm. Yeah, heartworm. Yeah, so
2 dogs.
The heartworm treatment, and it's very rough on the dog. So, people, a lot of people might not know, but monthly preventative you give your dog from the vet, the heartworm prevention. I mean, it really, for us, it costs $500. For anybody else, because we get a rescue discount, will be over $1,000 for the treatment. And it's very hard on the dogs. The worms are literally going up their veins and their arteries to their hearts. So their blood is not pumping. They get more tired. They can cough. I mean, they could, potentially pass. I mean, it can get bad if they have heartworms longer than they should. I mean, they should never get them, but so we try and get them done right away, get the treatment started. It's 3 injections. It's spanned out for 3 months, over 3 months or 4 months. So it will definitely help big time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's spread the word and let's get everyone to buy our coffee this week so that we can write you the biggest check we can on Monday morning so we can help with that heartworm medication.
Yes.
All right. So you and I will both be on the social media spreading the word this weekend.
Yes.
And I look forward to Monday morning writing you that check, and I hope it's killer. And if it's not, we'll do it again in the next few months.
Yeah.
And we'll do better the next time, but we're going to try to kill this one.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We're so thankful for, companies like you, and even the smaller companies, the more heartfelt, the ones that really want to help the rescues. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you. And that's our whole thing, right? Is our whole business model of give back, our whole philanthropic piece is because I know, I understand that rescue is you guys. That's who comprises the world of animal welfare and rescue. It's the small volunteer-based organizations, the thousands and thousands of them across the United States, working together, supporting each other that make the difference. You're the difference, and we want to make a difference for you.
Thank you so much. Yes, yes. We always like to work together. It's a team effort, Everybody needs to work together and try and get as many dogs out of the shelters and save and all that. So
that's awesome. All right. So Missy, you have a fantastic weekend.
Awesome. You too.
We will do the best we can.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Have a good weekend, Missy.
Thank you, you too.